Welcome to Jennifer Domal Studios. I was asked to help write a worksheet, and sometimes an instructor will say, well, just make a sketch. That's very easy to do when you know how to make a sketch. If you're not an artist or you're an artist working outside of your area, that can be harder to do than it seems. One of the things about Pysanky is that it works in process. It goes step by step by step by step. It's layers working in order. And if you're a painter or somebody who just applies, takes off, applies, takes off, that sort of list making may seem very rigid and a little frustrating. But when you're used to doing it, it becomes a very simple process and second nature. If you're a grown-up, you are actually used to making lists and sticking to them. You just don't know it. And once you realize how used to making lists you are, it becomes very freeing to be able to do this. One of the most common designs to do is the Starburst. Now I'm going to give you a quick look at one I've already done. This is a very traditional one, the Starburst, and then we're going to do it together. And then once you know how to do this, which is very easy, you'll be free to do any kind of alterations to make it truly yours. One of the most wonderful things about the Starburst division is that you can change it. You can alter it. You can add things. You can do so many things to make it contemporary, to make it bigger, smaller, more realistic, more iconic. Change the colors, make it. And anyway, this is very simple. So what we have here is what you would write on white. And then you would put it in yellow dye. That's what this means. And then all of these pencil lines that are different than this are what you would add to the yellow. So these lines right here. Then the next color is red. And what I did in pencil that's different than here are what you would add to make it red. Now, in this particular traditional design, you could stop there, melt the wax off. Like if you didn't want to do this, it's two ways to do it. You could dip it in red, melt the wax off and be done. Or you could do this step and then put it into black or another dark color and then melt the wax off. Okay, and then my note here, most important, be proud of yourself because you did something that was new and different and exciting. And if you're used to doing 2D work, doing 3D work is really, truly special. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to put this to the side and I'm going to show you two separate worksheets. Now, these worksheets were made by Jennifer Kwong at Jennifer E. Kwong on Instagram and on Facebook at Happy Egging. She developed these before we used to have to do it ourselves. And oh my gosh, if you can afford to buy her book, please do. It's this book here, Endless Egging. And it is truly a design resource for batik egg artists. Not only does she break down easy ways of, and she doesn't give me money for it, I just find her adorable, and it's not because my name is also Jennifer, but she also gives motifs, common motifs, not so common motifs, and just different, and fillers, all that. So that I think is an excellent resource. I'm asked all the time, what is the best book for beginners, and I think that one, and for intermediate and for advanced. Now there's two worksheets I think are excellent to start the process, this one or this one. Now I'm going to show you on this one because not everybody has this one. I'm going to put that one to the side. So I don't think you need a ruler. You're not going to be able to use a ruler on your egg, so I'm going to say don't use a ruler. Use your good eye. So we're going to label this white because that's what we're doing. Here, find the halfway mark. We're going to say we already did this. We already did this line that goes around and we already did the equator. So we have our line going this way, our line going this way, and our line going this way. So we have 4 triangles on top, and we have 4 triangles on the bottom. That's the way it looks. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now find the about halfway mark and put a dot. The about halfway mark and put a dot. Repeat. Okay, now from here to here, make a line. Now, when I make my starburst, you can either connect it to the outside line or you can do it on the inside. I like to do it on the inside. And so I make this very light pencil line. That's a guideline. And we don't wax that in. Well, I don't. You can do whatever you like. And then again, in the middle, I put a little dot. And that is where the point of the star is going to be. Now, I like for my star to have all the arms of the star to be at the same level. So I make a little pencil guideline. I don't wax that. If you wanted to use a circle template, you could absolutely use that. That's fine. And you could even use that on your egg. If you wanted to do that, totally fine. Not cheating. It's not cheating. Whatever makes it easier for you to achieve your design goals, that is totally fine. And then pencil in the arms of your star. Now, this is a sketch. For me, I'm not worried about perfectly straight anything. That's fine. So, right? That's the basic pencil division. Now, what I would do, to me, I write myself a note. Wax dark lines, dotted lines, guidelines. Do not wax. Because otherwise you might forget. Now, tell yourself what color this is. Yellow. Now, you might stress out and be like, oh, do I have to write that whole thing again? No, because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the back, 5, 6, 7, 8. But each quadrant is exactly the same. Each quadrant or triangle is exactly the same. So you don't actually have to. So here, these are all exactly the same. So put a dot here. And then, which one did I do? This one. Line it up. Line it up, pup. Find the middle. Now, for our stripes, this says we're doing an A-B pattern with alternating in the arm and in the field. So, A-B pattern, stripes. So, in yellow, and then in yellow. And this is how you would make your sketch of anything that is you can just say, if you wanted to draw it all out, if that's better for your brain, but you can just go like this and say it repeats all the way around and then on the back. Now for your next color, red, guess what? We're going to do the same thing. Put a notch there, draw the arm, AB pattern. So that gets filled in. So anything that's a repetitive pattern, you do not have to copy all the quadrants. It's exhausting, and if it helps you, absolutely you can do it. But do you need to do it? No. If everything is different, sure, you might want to sketch it out. Is it necessary? No, because this is just going to go. It's going to be exactly the same. And then write yourself a note if you need to. Cover areas that are darkened. And then choose the last color, and that's going to be dip in black. Now, in a colored book plate that gives the directions, they'll give this all, and it'll be all colored, the final color. You won't be able to see anything. I'm not going to draw it out because it's just going to be everything all, you're not going to see it. I could, but it'll just all look like this. It'll be dark. That's what it'll look like, all covered up. The last step is melt the wax off, the big reveal. So give it a title if that helps. Starburst. I know, but this is what it looks like. It's just the triangle going all the way around. That's it. And then if you want to be super neat, you could go like that. If you're just sketching it out, giving yourselves idea, it is so totally cool to be messy. And that's it, my friends. Thank you very much for joining me in my studio. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.